Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is September 25th, 2025, and the mayor of the city of Barcelona has had to come out and give a statement about the Camp Nou. Also, Deco traveled to Croatia to watch two promising youngsters that Barcelona are interested in signing. And finally, Bild, the German media outlet, revealing Hansi Flick's petition for next year's center forward. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. Before we begin with the news, today Barcelona defeated Real Oviedo 1-3, mounting a great comeback because Barcelona were losing 1-0 at the halftime. They ended up winning 1-3 with goals of Eric Garcia, Robert Lewandowski, and Ronald Araujo. And the reason I mentioned this is because, of course, I did do the post-match live analysis. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out so you can hear all my thoughts, opinions, and, of course, analysis of today's victory. Now, having said all that, let's dive right into the news because we do have to talk about the Spotify Camp Nou because today the mayor of the city of Barcelona had to issue a statement because there's been a slew of conspiracy theories, of all kinds of accusations levied against the city of Barcelona for delaying Barcelona's return to the Camp Nou. Now, if you don't know what's going on, I'll recap really quickly for you. Barcelona have finished construction on two sections in the stadium, the one behind South Goal and the lateral section. These two sections are part of the Phase 1A return to the Camp Nou, which will be able to host 27,000 people. Now, Barcelona finished the construction on these two sections. They presented the certificate of completion to the city. The city sent it. They sent their inspectors. The inspectors inspected the areas, and they found some damage that had been done by some rain. By some storms. Barcelona saw some pretty heavy storms. So the city gave Barcelona a list of things they needed to fix. Barcelona fixed it. They submitted the certificate of completion for a second time. The city again sent its inspectors. The inspectors went, and while they found more things that need to be addressed, this time it was regarding safety, more specifically evacuation routes. So the city again denied the permit, gave Barcelona a list of things they need to fix. And now Barcelona are going to have to fix this and then apply again for another inspection. And if the next inspection there's nothing to be found, then of course the permit will be issued. Now, when I reported this, I said, be careful because there's going to be people out there try to blame the city, try to tell you that this is all a conspiracy. And well, lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. After the city denied Barcelona's permit for the second time, all these conspiracy theories started to flow on social media saying, oh, it's the city that hates Laporta and they're trying to sabotage him. Someone else was saying, oh, it's Victor Font, his brother or some family member works in the city. So Font is trying to sabotage Laporta to use this in the election. Someone else was saying, oh, no, it's the city doing this on purpose because they want Barcelona to continue to rent the Olympic Stadium and they make money off the Olympic Stadium. And all this crazy stuff. And look, it's none of that stuff, okay? It's pretty simple what's happening. There are laws and codes in place. If you follow those codes, you get your permit. If you don't follow those codes, you don't get your permit. It's pretty simple. This is what every single building in the world goes through when there's a construction or a renovation. And these laws and codes are put in place for a reason. What's that reason? People's safety, the safety of people who will be visiting that building. The Camp Nou, when it's finished, is going to host 100,000 people. That's a lot of people in one place. If, God forbid, something happens, a part of the structure collapses, that's thousands of people dead. If a fire starts because electric work wasn't done correctly, that's thousands of people dead. If there's an emergency and people cannot evacuate because evacuation routes are not done correctly, that's thousands of people dead. This is not something we can overlook. This is not something we can shortcut. This is not something we can half-ass. The city has to make sure everything is right before they issue the permit, because if they look the other way, they see something that's wrong, they look the other way and people die, that's going to be on their conscience and on their hands because they knew something was wrong and they looked the other way. So there's no way around it. In order to get the permit, you have to go and follow those codes and those laws, and that's exactly what the city is making sure is happening. But of course, what's wrong? The same thing as always. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there who have never been taught how to deal with disappointment. They don't understand that in life, you're not always going to win. Sometimes you're going to lose. In life, not everything's going to go according to plan. A lot of times things are going to go not according to plan. But instead of sitting down, figuring out, hey, why did this thing not go the way I wanted it? How can I fix it? How can I make sure it does go the way I want it? No, let's find excuses. Oh, I did not get fired from my job because I suck as an employee. No, it's because my boss is a jerk. I did not fail my exam because I didn't study. No, it's because my teacher is a jerk, right? Same story, even in sports. Messi didn't win the World Cup. The World Cup is rigged. Rodri wins the Ballon d'Or. Oh, the Ballon d'Or is rigged. There's delay at stadium. Oh, the city is out to get us. The city is not out to get us. The city is doing its job. They're following the law. Once the law is followed, then Barcelona will get its permit. And in fact, the mayor of the city of Barcelona had to come out and address this because apparently some things are no longer left up to common sense. You have to actually explain it and spoon feed it to people. Now, this is what the mayor said. Our relationship with the board is fluid and frank. I want to say that Barcelona and the city council have the utmost interest in the construction going well because the stadium will be important for the city. But the priority is to guarantee the safety. And when the city police and fire department don't give us the green light or validate safety, the license cannot be granted. So the mayor explained, hey, we have to follow the law. And here, it turns out it wasn't the city that said no. It was the fire department and the police department who said no because there were safety concerns. So the mayor explained that. He also went on to explain other things, to address the whole thing about the city wants to charge Barcelona rent for the stadium. He said actually they're losing money because they're blocking the stadium for Barcelona versus putting it up for concerts where they can make more money. And that's a stadium designed for concerts. And of course, as far as the city trying to delay this on purpose, the mayor saying no, we're not. In fact, we want the stadium to be ready as soon as possible because the number one site visited in the city of Barcelona is La Sagrada Familia, the cathedral. The second most visited place in Barcelona is the Camp Nou. So, of course, the city has an interest in the stadium being built. So, no, this is not Font trying to sabotage La Porta. This is not the city trying to sabotage La Porta. Everyone has an interest in the stadium being completed as soon as possible, but you cannot half-ass it. You have to do it the right way. Anyways, on to the next bit of news because, ladies and gentlemen, Deco traveled to Croatia in order to meet with Andy Barra, the agent, and also to watch the Dinamo Zagreb match in the Europa League against Fenerbahce in order to watch two promising youngsters that Barcelona are interested in signing. And check this out. This is from one of the kids' Instagram. Both of them wearing Barcelona kits. Now, who was Deco there to meet in Croatia? Well, the one on the right, of course, you already know by now. We've talked about him a lot. Cardoso Varela, 16 years old, left winger out of Portugal, one of the most promising players to come out of Portugal. At least that's what they're telling us. Barcelona tried to sign him in the summer, but then they reached an agreement with Dinamo Zagreb to sign him next summer. Now there's a little bit of talk that maybe Dinamo Zagreb might want to hold on to this guy for 2 years, so they'll be okay if Barcelona sign him in 2027 versus 2026. Deco's still figuring that out. And that's one of the reasons why he traveled to Croatia to figure that out. The other guy, the one on the left, this is someone we have not talked about. It's Rafael Bellino, also 16 years old. He's Brazilian. He plays as a midfielder. And it's also said that he is very promising. So both of them play at Dinamo Zagreb. Both Deco went to watch him play. And, of course, both of them are represented by Andy Barra, who Deco met with and who Deco watch the match with as well. Now, speaking of signings, let's end this video with big news coming out of Germany. More specifically, Bild. As you know, Bild, one of the biggest media outlets in Germany. Incredibly trustworthy source. Very close to Flick and anything German. They have revealed who Flick wants for next season to replace Robert Lewandowski. And they're saying is Serhu Girat. I'll try to say this without butchering it. Girassi. I can never say his name. But Girassi, if you haven't heard of him, 29 years old. I think he's from Guinea, if I'm not mistaken. Currently plays at Dortmund. Last season, killed it, scored 38 goals in all competitions. He does have a contract with Dortmund until 2028, but nonetheless, Flick has requested him. He wants him as a replacement of Robert Lewandowski. Now, as you know, Barcelona are trying to sign kind of like a big striker next summer, someone that can sell a lot of kits, someone that has a lot of marketing, media attention, etc., etc. But of course, what's the problem? Well, there's two problems. A, Barcelona don't have that much money to be able to afford like a high-profile striker, and B, a lot of high-profile strikers have made their moves already, and they have contracts for many years to come. So, despite the club wanting a high-profile striker, Flick has requested Girassi because he believes Girassi is A, works within Barcelona's budget, and B, he believes that it could be a great addition for Barcelona. And of course, I want to hear you guys' thoughts. What do you think about Girassi being Barcelona's next center forward? Let me know down below in the comment section. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. Again, I did do the post-match live analysis. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Viscarsa.